first hitter get hit with a pitch, Lonnie Smith.
And a diving stop by Hubie Brooks. The throw to first base retires to side. Hubie Brooks at third base with a brilliant play.
Oh, Bruce Perini very happy. Here it is again. Hubie Brooks diving to his left, stopping that ball, coming up and making a perfect throw to Keith Hernandez.
So a man hit by a pitch ball, a stolen base, and a pull. Santana hitting at 211 for the Mets. And he rips a line drive to left. It'll be a base hit. Skips by Lonnie Smith in left field, and Santana goes for the second base bag, and he's in there. Rafael Santana.
I believe Lonnie Smith, he saw the ball, but I don't think he realized how hard this ball was hit. Watch him pursue this ball. Kind of nonchalant, the ball, but the ball really skips off the ground. The ball was hit pretty hard by Rafael Santana, and it scored a hit and an error.
So Santana, who had 2 for 4 in last night's ball game, picks up his third hit in this series. And the Mets have a runner at second base with Bruce Peretti, the batter. And right on top of the pitcher.
How about a push bunt?
And it's bunted out in front of the plate. It's going to be a good one. Bobbled by Porter. Everybody is safe. Well, everybody thought it would be impossible to lay down a good bunt with the pressure the Cardinals were putting on from first and third. Let's see how he does it.
Here it is again. Bruce Perini putting the ball off the plate, unintentionally, of course, and Porter kind of grabbed that ball and tried to throw it in a hurry, dropped the ball. He tried to barehand the ball. Now, Bernie doesn't run that well. I'm surprised he tried to barehand the ball. When he finally picked it up, he had no...
That's right. I agree with it. A little blooper to right field, a base hit. Rennie will go to third as Santana scores. And going into second base is Kelvin Chapman. And Chapman with a bloop base hit puts the Mets on top 1-0.
Oh, Kelvin Chapman right here getting jammed and muscling the ball into right field. A base hit as you look at Rafael Santana scoring the Mets' first run. And the Mets now have a runner on second base, Kelvin Chapman, and over at third base.
Play. That's set. Here's a fly ball to left. It'll score a run. Rennie tagged up. Comes in to score the throw into third base. Chapman holds it second, and the Mets lead 2-0 on the sacrifice fly.
Well, we talked about Keith Hernandez not really hitting the ball that well against his former teammates, maybe putting a little too much pressure on himself, but once again, he comes through. He gets the job done. He drives in the man from third base with less than 2 outs.
And Hernandez now with 56 runs batted in. Doing the job of putting them up. And it's a line drive to left field. Chapman being waved in. Here's the throw by Lonnie Smith. It's offline. The throw to second base not in time. And the Mets lead 3-0.
Well, George Foster picking up a base hit and an RBI right here. The Mets are doing everything well. They're executing in every phase of the game. A base hit, an RBI, and on the throw to the catcher, George Foster hustling to second base. Another angle, Lonnie Smith's throw way up in the air. And he's not able to get Kelvin Chapman. And on the throw, George Foster hustled to second base. A lot of guys would have been watching that play.
Try to aid and abet his cause with the Mets trailing 4-3. There is a big crowd on hand tonight.
They're still coming in here.
Midweek crowd.
Whew. Well, they picked a gorgeous night for a game, and Bereni gets a base hit into center field. Santana should score. The throw to the plate as Bereni rounds first. He goes back, and he's safe, and so is the run. The run scores. It's all tied up 4 apiece. Santana scoring on a base hit by Bruce Perini. He should forget that bunt.
Well, of course, it's 1 out anyway, and I don't think he had any idea about Bunting there as he rounded first base. Fly. Whistle Dixie now, Ralphie.
And this place, Shea Stadium in Flushing, New York, is jumping. And it's going to jump some more. A base hit. And Bereni's going to score as Lonnie Smith bobbles the ball. Santana hustles to third, and Calvin Chapman covers so much ground. 1-0 pitch, and a Chapman break, base hit. Mets score number 6, and Chapman heads for third. All hands are safe, and Hernandez has a base hit and an RBI, and the Mets now lead 6-4.
This looks like a rodeo out here. Calvin Chapman running on the play and going alertly to third base as Mookie scores. Lonnie Smith had an idea of going to third, then had to go to second. These guys are playing like this game means something.
Well, I tell you, I think, wow, some exciting baseball. You're watching all very serious individual on the field. There's another base hit. It's now 7-4. Hernandez hustles to third base. George Foster's on first. And the score is Mets 7, Cards 4.
Listen to this crowd. Woo. They're going bananas.
They really are.
Maybe it's not a rodeo. Maybe it's a bingo game where the Mets are covering the corners, right? First and third, first and third.
It's 7, Cards 4.
2 runs on 2 hits. They stranded nobody going into the middle of the 8th. It's 8-7 St. Louis. 15 appearances. Line drive, base hit. Oh, it's just a matter of suggestion, Mr. Tyner.
Power of suggestion as Martin comes through with a base hit as a pinch hitter.
Yes. 1-0 to Mookie Wilson. Gets by Porter. Martin will go to second, and a fan touches the ball. One base. Oh, how a fan leans over there. Not that Martin...
Hernandez.
Jerry Martin trying to get a Cardinals also 3-2 to Keith Hernandez. Tying run at second, bottom of 8. Cardinals leading 8-7. Base hit center field. Hernandez comes through again. We got a tie ball game. Unbelievable.
Well, we'll look at it again. It is a fastball. It's out over the plate a little bit. Hernandez just gets a good part of the bat on the ball. Van Slyke throws into the infield to stop Hernandez at first as the Mets tie it up. Hernandez was with his 3rd RBI of this ball game. Keith now with 58 RBIs, and that is all for...
Overhanded to get the diving Andy Van Slyke. Watch this hop. Boom. There are no bad hops for him, are there? And you see Van Slyke diving to no avail. Big out right there.
So no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left on base, and the score after 9.5 innings, the Cardinals 8 and with a 2-1 count. Fastball hit by the third baseman, Pendleton, and Mookie is on. So Mookie Wilson singles with 2 men out in the 10th inning. Mets get their 13th base hit. And that'll bring up Calvin Chapman.
And not guarding the line almost paid off for the Cardinals right here. The ball taking a bad hop right over the glove of Pendleton. And right after
second base, a full count to Wally Backman. And a curveball for all 4. And that'll bring up Keith Hernandez. Keith, the man who tied the ball game up with a single in the...
Facing the man for whom he was traded a year and a month ago.
Traded on June 15th. And it's a very controversial trade in Florida. Andujar throwing in the bullpen. He is their #1 starter. And it's through the middle. Another base hit. Here comes Mookie. Here comes the throw. And
just turned in. We need say nothing more. Unbelievable.
Final score, we'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. The New York Mets in 10 innings winning 9-8.